Who to Manage has a new name, and it's now the best teams to manage in Football Manager 2018. This will be a series done by myself and some other Football Manager creators. So let's start with team number 1. So, behind door number 1, we have Tottenham Hotspur. That'll probably surprise quite a few of you. I have an Arsenal save going on. This is unfamiliar. The challenge then, to continue the great work done by Mauricio Pochettino. For all that Spurs have achieved over the last few years though, they still remain trophyless, and a hungry and very talented squad will need their ambitions met before they decide to move to rivals or European giants. Can you challenge for the title? Can you compete competitively on all 4 fronts? And can you rule North London over Arsenal? Last season then they came second. The expectation this year, get into the top 4 and then build once again from that platform. So, let's take a look at the team. The star men, the prospects, the formation and the squad depth. Kicking off with the star men then, you'll be familiar with lots of these names I'm sure. Hugo Lloris, Toby Alderweireld, Eric Dyer, Christian Eriksen, Son Heung-min and Harry Kane provide an excellent depth of star men through the core of the team. Prospects such as Dele Alli, Harry Winks, Cameron Carter-Vickers, Davinson Sanchez and Joshua Onuma will be familiar to you as well. Dele Alli is one of the best players in the game this year. Keep him for as long as you can. The squad depth overall, probably a 7 out of 10. While Spurs can deal with most major injuries due to the flexibility of their squad, if any of their core players get injured, you'll be in a spot of bother. And along with that, Spurs start with injuries to Danny Rose and Eric Lamela with a relatively limited budget, might only be able to attract one more major name to the club. So, formation-wise, Spurs under Pochettino have set up with many different systems. One of the more familiar ones though, the 3 at the back with wing-backs, 2 good central midfielders with Harry Kane, Dele Alli and occasionally Son Heung-min or Christian Eriksen playing around him as well. There's lots of different options, lots of versatility, not too many wingers though, and we'll address that soon, but there's definitely lots you can do with this side. Financially then, Spurs are in a pretty good spot. A balance of 254 million, a transfer budget of 65 million, wage budget of 1.85 million with 150,000 left to spend, a scouting budget of 720,000 means you can go around the world, and Spurs are currently renting Wembley Stadium, 8 million a year that is. Once they move into New Hart Lane though, that'll obviously go, but Spurs are in debt, 626 million, and that's paid off 10 million a month in year 1. It's not easy to deal with. But speaking of money, let's look at who they could get in then. I genuinely think Spurs are weaker in the wider areas. Mora, Pulisic, Williams and Shaqiri, names that will be familiar with you across Europe, and names you really should be looking at. 50 to 60 million, 35 to 40 million, there's some big money needing to be spent if you're going to spend it, but if I had to put it anywhere, Timo Werner, 65 to 55 million, you can get the deal done, and he's a great replacement. If anything happens to Harry Kane, he can be your guy, and he's available. So, looking at the strengths then, Spurs have one of the most exciting squads, not just in the Premier League, but the whole of Europe. Seasoned pros, excellent youth, is set up to win. And with New White Hart Lane only a year from completion, you'll be able to compete with neighbours Arsenal and the other Premier League big boys in the transfer market. 90% of your first team squad are on at least a 2-year deal as well, meaning there's no danger of losing a big name on the cheap when you first take over as manager. It might not be considered a strength, but Daniel Levy is only expecting you to challenge for the Europa League places. This gives you a little more time if things start to go south. Last year we had cons, this year it's the weaknesses. The squad's really good, you might have the ability to change things up easily, but one man is not replaceable. Harry Kane gets injured, you're in massive trouble, and finding the right system in the big games is crucial. Spurs have a poor record against the big sides. Despite how far they've come, they're still a step behind the Mancunians up north. You have a few players that could become leaders, but outside of Lloris and Alderweireld, you're lacking, and your budgets don't really allow you much room to manoeuvre. Levy's tight, he won't give you any more transfer funds, nor will he increase the wage bill, and with over £600 million worth of debt, you'll be paying it off for 10 years straight. So, in summary, don't get me wrong, this is one of the easier challenges you can face on Football Manager 2018, but it's always tough for a new manager. Pochettino had a style, and the Spurs players and fans loved it. If you want to implement something completely new, it won't work overnight, and although Daniel Levy's happy with Europa League football, expectations of the fans have changed an awful lot over the past few seasons. It's time to win things, so get to it. So that brings us to the end of door number 1. Tottenham were the team. If you enjoyed it, do leave a like. Let's aim for 1,000 likes on a new series returning in 2017. And of course, if you've got any teams you want to suggest, comment down below and we'll see what we can do later in the month. So we love with care. From here to Bench. So next time, Merry Christmas. Is that too soon? It's too soon.